Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about and show you some steelbooks that I've gotten over the past few months. And for the most part, I'm going to talk about them in the order that I got them, just so if it's a new release, then, well, or a newer release, it'll be towards the end of the video. And I've gotten all of them except for two from Zavvi, or Zavvi, I say Zavvi. Basically the next few videos that I'm going to do are just some sort of like updates on certain things that I've gotten, and this is the Steelbooks video. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get started. So the first one that I have the first two I've had for a while, and I didn't get around to showing them. So the first one is The Pianist. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to show you on this side so it doesn't like blend in with like my chair there and my poster, you know, but I don't know how well I'll remember that. So the first thing I have, this one's super shiny, is The Pianist. It's directed by Roman Polanski. It says so at the top there. And then I'm pretty sure this takes place in Austria. I haven't watched this one yet. I think this is the only one I haven't seen. No, I just got one like a couple days ago. I received it in the mail, and so those are the only two that I haven't seen yet. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it takes place in Austria. I could be wrong. But then there's like a landscape there, and then also like piano keys, which I think is really cool. And then the back, I'll show you on this side. That's like Adrian Brody's part of his face. It's really creepy. You can see my windows in the reflection. So this is about, dang it, I keep on going to this side. It's just what I'm used to. But I know this is about a pianist, and it takes place like during World War II and the Holocaust, and the pianist is Jewish, and just what he goes through, essentially. I think it's based off a true story. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, and then the inside. Okay, is that good? I can't see my screen. So like Adrian Brody's right here. And then this is the disc. And I think it's sort of funny how the disc is like the same as, oh shoot, I can't like show you, I'm not going to get up and show you, but I have the Studio Canal edition of Pierre Le Fou, and it's like that, it's like red, and then Jean-Paul Belmondo, I'm pretty sure that's his name. His like character is on the front, and he's like blue. Yeah, I don't know if that's enough description. I'm not sure like what to call a case because it's a little different, but that version, like the disc looks exactly the same as this, except it's red and it's for Pierre Le Fou, obviously. And I know that the pianist is available in that edition. I just think it's sort of funny how they just basically put that disc in a steelbook. They don't have anything different. Yeah, so that's The Pianist. And then I also got Brick. Dang it, okay, I'm going to remember to show you on this side. Especially because like these ones have like black on it. I don't want it to blend in too much. Yeah, so Brick. Okay, is that good? Sort of. It's so pretty. I mean, pretty's not really the right word to use, I guess, but it's the word I'm using. And yeah, this one's really shiny too. And then on the back, I think the main character's name is Brendan. Yeah, he's like in a telephone booth there. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, this is like one of the first films that I saw with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I really like him. And I have this movie on DVD, and I had to get the Steelbook. That's the inside. Yeah. So I've seen this movie, I haven't watched like this specific edition. For some reason, the past few times that I've like watched it, I've like fallen asleep. I've just chosen days where I'm like super tired, and then that night I end up like falling asleep during the movie. So I haven't watched it in full in a while. But it's always been a movie that's like stuck in my head. It's sort of like, I feel like film noir inspired it a lot, and it's sort of like a gangster movie and a teenage movie at the same time. Like, it's basically like, I don't know. I'm just thinking it's like a gangster movie except with younger characters. Like, they're teenagers and they're in high school and college and stuff, instead of being adults. But it's a really good movie. This one is a Best Buy exclusive. Yeah, Unbroken. And I saw this in theaters when it came out, basically. I'm pretty sure people know what this is about. I thought it was a really good movie, hence I bought the Steelbook instead of like just the normal Blu-ray edition. I saw it like with my family. My parents and my brother both thought it was like a little too long. Like they could have taken out some parts. I didn't think it did not feel long at all to me. I think I said this before in another video. It didn't feel that long to me. I actually wanted more. I don't know, it's really good though. And I like how like simple the Steelbook is. And so it comes with a Blu-ray disc and a DVD. Yeah, since this is a newer movie, so I feel like this had a lot of hype around it when it was first like coming out. But it's about Louis. Shoot, I can't think of his last name. Zapparini. I think so. I think that's it. But he was like a runner, and he participated in the Olympics, and then he was in the army. He was in World War II, I think. Yeah, because it has like Hitler in the movie. Yeah. Yeah, and he was like a pilot, and the plane like crashes. Well, he was like part of the team that's like bombing places, and then they crash, and then he was like stranded in the ocean for like a really long time. I don't remember the specific number of days. And then he was like a prisoner of war in a Japanese camp, I think. Yeah. So it's his story, based on a true story. Yeah, okay. And I also have like these. I like to keep like these pieces of paper that's usually stuck to them. I mean, I don't keep them on them. I just kind of have them in a drawer. Yeah, so does it have any? Yeah, it has deleted scenes, Inside Unbroken, Prison Camp Theater Cinderella, Cast and Crew Concert featuring Miyavi, Miyavi. That's how you spell it. I'm assuming that's the guy who plays like the head of the camp, because he's like a Japanese pop star, and Angelina Jolie was like, "You're perfect." I don't really know the story behind it, but basically he's a Japanese pop star. And then Louis' path to forgiveness. Those are special features. Next, I have another movie with Jack O'Connell. I really like Jack O'Connell. I just think it was like when I first saw the trailers for Unbroken, I was just like really excited because he's in this TV show, a UK TV show called Skins. He's like in Generation 2. So there's like 3 generations throughout the series, and then there's like 2 seasons per generation. So he's in the second generation, and he's like sort of an unlikable character, but towards the end you're like totally rooting for him. Yeah, I don't know, but basically I hadn't seen like anything with him in it since Skins, and then he's like in all these movies now, and I'm just really excited. So I got Unbroken, and then I got 71. Yeah, this one's also super simple, and I like it. The lighting is a little off today. I could probably open that a little bit more. This one also involves like a war, and he's like a soldier. I don't want to be specific because I don't want to be wrong, but I feel like it was like a revolt type of situation within the country. And oh my god, I feel so bad because I don't know the specifics of it, but he's a soldier, and then he has to go and sort of like tell the people of this town like to stop like revolting, and they're like really against what the government is doing and what the soldiers are doing. And then the people of the town don't listen, and they end up like shooting the soldiers, and then he's like stuck in this town. Like the rest of the soldiers like leave, and then he was like forgotten, or like they thought he was like dead or something, and he's stuck in this town, and basically a whole bunch of people want to kill him, and he's like trying to get to safety, and it's pretty intense. It's intense, and it was a good movie. A little different than I thought it would be. I think I say that a lot, which is weird because I don't like to know too much about a movie before I actually watch it. Yeah, there were a few scenes where I was like, oh my gosh, like just wasn't expecting that to happen. It's sort of action like, but not really. It's mostly like a thriller, and as I said before, it's suspenseful, so there's suspense. Yeah. Next, I got The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and the Steelbook is a little bit weird, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the way the Steelbook looks, and I have like the back part. I like the back. That's nice. I mean, this is an extremely sad movie. Just like all the feels. I can't believe I just said that, but I did. Oh, what's on the other side? So this is the inside. Can you see it? Yes. And then it's just sort of a plain disc. Wow, so many like World War II, like war type of movies going on here. This takes place during World War II and the Holocaust, and the boy in the striped pajamas on this side of the fence is Jewish, and he's in a concentration camp. And then this little boy here, I don't remember, I think this kid's name is Bruno, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe he's Bruno. I don't know. One of their names is Bruno, and so this kid here is like the son of like a general, or he's along the lines of in the army or military. That's a lot better to say military. Just a general term, but he's like a general or a lieutenant or something, and so he's privileged, and he's like protected a lot, except he, runs away from his house every so often, and he finds this concentration camp that's somewhat nearby and doesn't understand what it is and who these people are and why they're there. He doesn't know the specifics of what's actually happening in this world, and what his dad is involved with, and basically what is happening in the country, and basically like a lot of Europe and the world. Obviously, it's called World War II and the Holocaust, so the world was involved. It's so sad, but it's a really beautiful film. I didn't read the book before I saw the movie. I watched this. We didn't finish it, but we started watching it in my AP Euro, so AP European History class my sophomore year of high school, and then I like rented it from Blockbuster when Blockbuster was still around, and the lady who was like checking us out, you know, she was like, "Oh, did you read the book?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "It's really good." So I'm assuming that it is really good since people have said that, but it's a really, really great film, and I mean, I recommend like all of these films basically, but I really recommend this one. I think this, so, I'm sorry, I was just like looking over and I was gonna say that I'm pretty sure it's Region B, and so I'll just double check. It is. So the all of the ones that I have shown so far are Region B, except for Unbroken, and that's Region A since it's Best Buy exclusive. I have Mulholland Drive like a week before it was announced on Criterion, like in the newsletter there was like the blue key, and I was like, what is that? And then it just like hit me and I was like, oh my god, it's freaking Mulholland Drive. And I got the Steelbook, but I really like this Steelbook. My brother's like obsessed with Steelbooks. He has so many. He probably has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. He probably has like almost triple the amount of Steelbooks just that he's gotten like recently. Like he just recently ordered like 6. He's gotten like, I mean like 20 probably within the past few months. It's crazy. He loves them though, and that's really cool, and he's really into like the horror scary movie ones. That's more of his genre. And whenever he looks at my collection, he's like, "You have like no Steelbooks, Bailey." I'm like, "Thanks, okay." And then he's like, "Oh, so when you, because you're gonna get the Criterion edition of Mulholland Drive, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, probably." He's like, "So you can give me that Steelbook, right?" Maybe I want both, Chase. Anyway, I was thinking about like showing you the Steelbooks that he got too, since he's gotten a lot. I don't know if that'll happen, but maybe I'll like mention them. Yeah, but Mulholland Drive, see, I have this little, I don't even know what to call these, but tells, this one is also Region B. The extras on it: an introduction, in the blue box, making of On the Road to Mulholland Drive, interviews with Mary Sweeney, Angelo Badalamenti, and an Angelo Badalamenti audio interview 10 years after, and then back to Mulholland Drive. So those are the extras. And yes, it's very, I have a thing for simple Steelbooks. A lot of these are pretty simple, so like you can't even really tell that there's anything on the back here. I don't even know what it is. I think it's a car. See, like, oh, do you see the headlights? I think it's a car. And yeah. So my brother and I my brother recorded it, and then we watched it together, and then I was like, you know, this is a David Lynch film, because I'm like obsessed with David Lynch, like ever since I've seen Twin Peaks. And like, I probably said this before, but we watched Twin Peaks when we watched it like over Thanksgiving break. And he's like, "What's up with you and this David Lynch guy?" Because I'm just like obsessed. He's like, I mean, Twin Peaks was good, but I don't see why you're so obsessed with it. That's what he says to me all the time. And then we watched this movie, and he was like, this David Lynch guy, what is he doing? Because it was pretty confusing. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be so... Like, now I know it as, like, a standard of David Lynch and his films and, like, what he creates. But I didn't think it would be the way it is. Like, I don't know. Even though, like, I saw Eraserhead, like, a couple years ago or so, and then I watched Twin Peaks, like, not this year, but last year, in, like, January, and then I watched it again in, like, November, and now I've just seen, like, a whole bunch of David Lynch films, because I'm, like, getting them from Netflix. It's awesome. And now I just know that it's, like, the standard of David Lynch. This is the inside. And then here we go again. This movie is also available, like the Pierre LeFou edition I have and the Pianist. So see how like the disc is basically the same, just different color. Yeah, so Mulholland Drive, I just thought this was going to be a movie with like this girl who loses her memory and this other girl tries to help her figure out who she is. No, it's a lot more than that. It's a David Lynch film and it's really good. I see why everyone, like, what is it? Like Eraserhead, Mulholland Drive, and Scanners are like the three most popular Criterion movies that like weren't officially announced or like weren't released yet, that every time the the middle of the month would come around and Criterion would announce their next month's lineup of releases, everyone's like, where's Eraserhead? Where's Scanners? Where's Mulholland Drive? Now they've all been announced. So I'm kind of curious to see like what the next like major films that everyone's like wanting to be on the collection or hasn't like been released but has been announced will be. Does that make sense? I hope so. Yeah, Mulholland Drive. I mean, it's a little confusing. I had to like look up what the heck happened in this movie, and then like as soon as we finished it, like a couple days later, I was like, I want to watch it again, and that's why I got the Steelbook. And then a week later, it was announced on Criterion officially. So that's the way it is, though. Next, yeah, this no, I'll do this one since it's another David Lynch film. Wild at Heart. I think this one is my favorite film of his. I don't know. I'm sorry. What's happening with the lighting there? I don't know. I'm going back and forth between this one and Mulholland Drive, because Mulholland Drive was like really, like it was pretty confusing and I was thinking about it a lot. But Wild at Heart just sort of had a story, you know, and I just liked the story and I liked the style of it, and it reminded me a lot of Twin Peaks, except like just the way it sort of feels, not with like the characters or the setting. Like it was definitely a lot different than Twin Peaks, but just the whole like tone and feel of it just reminded me of Twin Peaks, which is why I think I liked it so much compared to like the night before we watched did we? I don't know, but we watched Inland Empire, Wild at Heart, and Blue Velvet, like all in a row. I know that Inland Empire was first, I just don't know which one between Wild at Heart and Blue Velvet we watched first. And I thought Inland Empire was freaking crazy. I was like, what was happening? Like, it was okay. It was okay. I still don't really know what happened. You know, there's always those, like, scenes and you're like, how does that connect with what's going on? How are those, you know, does that make sense? And then, like, this one didn't have anything confusing in it, and Blue Velvet, didn't really have anything confusing in it either, but it still had that like weird element to it and whole like strange shenanigans. So compared to his other films, Wild at Heart was pretty normal. And then the back has like a lighter on it. And the inside. Can you see it? Is there too much reflection? No, you're good. Okay. I don't know if anyone notices, but whenever I like open something and I can't see like the screen, I like try to look down to see if it's working out okay. Anyway, this movie is about a couple and they like love each other, and I can't even think of their names actually. I'm so bad at remembering characters' names. It's so weird. But I'm really good with the actors' names. So Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern. I always have to double check with her name though, because my favorite X-Men is Polaris, whose real name is Lorna Dane, and so I always like, I don't know, it just sounds so similar to Laura Dern, so then I have to like make sure I'm not mixing up like their names. Does that make sense? How many times have I said, does that make sense? I'm gonna stop. I promise. I'll work on it. But Nicolas Cage's character, he like, he's gonna be killed. Like, Laura's character's mom wants to kill him, and then they end up running away together, and then the mom like goes after them along with like a couple of like detectives, like private eyes, and basically they're just like on a road trip. They want to go to California, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it's a road trip, sort of. It's not a road trip movie, but there's a road trip involved. Yeah, and actually, want to know something really sad that like someone who like really likes David Lynch is gonna be like, how did she not know this? But it just made like a creaking noise. That was weird. That one's also just region B. But in the beginning, and like the opening credits of like Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart, I saw Jack Nance is in it, and I knew that Jack Nance is Eraserhead, but I didn't know that Jack Nance is Pete Martell in Twin Peaks. So then I was like, I didn't see him. Like, I was watching Wild at Heart, we watched Blue Velvet first, I think. We watched Blue Velvet, and then I was like, I noticed that his name was in the opening credits, but I didn't see him. And then the same thing happened, like the opening credits, I was like, oh, Jack Nance is in this one too. And then I was like watching it, and then there was just like this moment where I was like, I haven't seen Eraserhead yet. And then Pete Martell comes out, I mean not Pete Martell like the character, but basically Jack Nance comes out and he's like playing this character and stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's Eraserhead. And then it like clicked. And now I'm really sad because I have read about Jack Nance's death, and it's just really upsetting that he's like, I mean, yeah, it's really upsetting that he's like not alive anymore, and he won't be in the reboot of Twin Peaks. I mean, it's sad that he's like dead, but it's also sad that he's like not going to be in Twin Peaks. I'm trying not to make it sound like I only care about Twin Peaks, which is why I was trying to clarify there a little bit. Next one I have is Predestination, and this is a film from last year, but it like just came out this year. Yeah, so here's like the front. There's like a guy there, and then the back's like pretty similar, except it's like this girl. And I have this thing. This is Region B, and I'll open it up, and there's Ethan Hawke. Yeah. So this movie is weird. This movie's so weird. It's really good, but it's really weird. And I like totally want to spoil it for you, but I'm not going to. But basically, like, time travel is a thing, and there's like this agency that they're the only people that like, what's happening with the lighting? Okay. They're like the only people that know about time travel, and they use it to stop like terrorist attacks and like huge accidents where a bunch of people are gonna die. Like, there's this bomber that like bombs places in like the 70s, I think. And then I think it's the 70s, because that's like when the movie like sort of starts. This bomber, and then this agency like tries to go to the, oh no, now I'm just confusing myself. But basically they use time travel to like stop like bombings and stop other big things, events that will, you know, make people die. Good wording. Yeah, and so Ethan Hawke's character is like an agent of this agency, and oh my gosh, like I think that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to spoil it, but it's like there's a lot of twists, and like the whole time my brother and I were like, wait a second, is she, like, we're like asking all these questions like out loud to ourselves, and then like my parents were like, sounds like that movie is really confusing, you guys. No, it's not. We're okay. We're understanding it. And then I just, like, I want to say something else right now, but I'm not going to. But I really recommend everyone watch this. Like, I don't know, I like the style of it. I like it. And there's like moments where you're like, how is this important? Why am I watching this? But then it all like comes together, and it's really good. Moving on. Next, Rumblefish. This was on Zavvi for a long time, and now all of a sudden it's like not on anymore. And so I ordered this from like Amazon UK. I don't know why it's not on Zavvi anymore. Like, I saw it there because my brother and I look at the Steelbooks section all the time, and then one day it just like wasn't there anymore, and then I thought, it's limited, maybe it's sold out or something like that. And then it's just, if you search it, it's like not even on their site anymore. So I got it from Amazon UK. And this is from Eureka. Oh, sorry, my thumb is like on my face. Yeah, from Eureka, what is it, Masters? Yeah, the Masters of Cinema series. And the back is pretty plain. This is directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and it's also based off of a book by S.E. Hinton, who is the author of The Outsiders. And this was done like I think the same year as The Outsiders. And I really like this cover. So there's like Matt Dillon as Rusty James, and then here is Diane Lane, and then here's Mickey Rourke. I'm so used to seeing, like, I barely even know who Mickey Rourke is, but I know I've seen him in like a few movies. Dude, I did not know that was him. Like, I saw his name in like the ending credits, and I'm like, he was in this movie? Because I'm so used to like the way he looks now. Okay, man. Wow. Yeah, so, this movie is about Rusty James, and his brother is the motorcycle boy, and they have, that's the inside, and they have like a really drunk dad, played by Dennis Hopper, and you know, Rusty James has a girlfriend, and then I don't know, it's just like their lives, basically. Yeah, it comes with this booklet. Let's set that down real quick. I'm not sure what's in here. Idols of the King, Francis Coppola interviewed by David Thomas and Lucy Gray. Lots of pictures. My favorite character was Steve. I'm pretty sure his name is Steve. Steven? Now I'm questioning myself. Yeah, Steve. He was funny. He was like drunk the whole time, but like whatever. Rumblefish production notes and credits. So yeah, Rumblefish. The Outsiders is definitely better, but this was not a bad movie. I think I liked the like style of it and the editing and the way it looked a little bit more than I liked the actual film, but that's okay. I don't know why, but like that has a lot to do with how much I like the film. So if like the style is something that is really appealing to me, something that I really like, then I'm gonna like the movie a lot more than if like it was okay and the plot was good. Is that weird? Tell me if you're like that too. Just out of curiosity. And this one, did I already say, is also Region B. Last one I just got, like the day I filmed my, or like the day after I filmed my Barnes & Noble Criterion unboxing thing, I got Moon. I haven't seen this one yet. I just got it. The cover is awesome. It's really shiny. I barely know what this is about. An astronaut, I'm assuming. He goes to the moon, maybe? Let's see. I'll read the back, or part of the back. Sam Bell is nearing the completion of his 3-year-long contract with Lunar Industries, mining Earth's primary source of energy in the dark side of the moon. Alone with only the base's vigilant computer, Gertie, voiced by Kevin Spacey, as his sole companion, Bell's extended isolation has taken its toll. His only link to the outside world comes via satellite messages from his wife and young daughter. He longs to return home, but a terrible accident... Okay, that's all I want to know. I don't want to know about an accident. Okay, so, here we go. Oh, I haven't used this yet. I will do it. So it comes with like a ultraviolet code. And then here is the inside. Yeah, and my brother was about to order this, and he was like looking on the website, and I was like, I have that. Or like, I got that. That's what I said, I got that. He's like, what? Like he was confused because he didn't know I ordered it, and he didn't think I had it because it hadn't come in the mail yet. So he almost ordered it, but he didn't because I got it. And this is region A, B, and C, so that means region free, right? There's not a D, is there? I don't think so. Cool. Exciting. Those are all the Steelbooks I've gotten. This is a pretty long video. As I'm recording, as I'm like ending, it says 40 minutes, which is pretty ridiculous, and I totally apologize. But I like got to talk about these movies a lot, which I like. You know, sometimes I don't like it when I haven't really seen a film and I'm like, oh, I don't really know what to say. And, you know, because I like to watch videos that are like reviews about, you know, what the person thinks, what the movie is about. So I got to go a little bit deeper with my description today. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Tell me if you've seen any of these videos, if you're interested in getting any of these Steelbooks, or if you have like the Blu-ray version, or if you have an awesome day. Did I say awesome last time? I'm not sure. But have an awesome day. Again, sorry. Have an awesome day. Thank you for watching. And comment. I love comments. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.